Hello. What is up?
What's up? How's it going?
Not much, not much. It's another depressing week for me, but not for one of our members here, one of our players here.
Please, Jason.
Wonder who it could be.
Uh,
I wonder which one of us three
fucking rat.
is doing well right now. I wonder who could it be. Anyway, moving on. Try to keep this one a little bit shorter. I think the last one was like 43 minutes, so trying to be done by like 10. That's my goal. But just starting off. Whoa, a little too much information there. Starting off, we got Mr. Wesley Anderson at number 12, and at least he doesn't have the worst record. So I mean, that trade at least got him a win his first week. He's got Brady now, which is, I don't know, someone had Brady and then someone dropped Brady, so that's kind of
kissing his kids for youth.
But losing Mixon obviously huge, and he lost Freeman. So he lost both the running backs out of that trade, right? He got Mixon.
No, I think he has Freeman on the bench.
No, he has Freeman, but Mixon, Freeman, and Galladay for Aaron Jones and whoever else. But he lost both the running backs he got from that trade. Like, at least, I mean, Freeman might not even play this week, so he's got Swift, which is all right. Fournette, who knows what he'll put up this week. Galladay, Juju, Hayden, Tim Patrick. No kicker just yet. I think he's gonna plug in Jason Sanders here, and then the Bucksy. It's I don't know if you can call this a playoff team, but I think it could steal some wins here and there. I don't know if it'll be the worst team at the end of the season. He really needs his Michael Thomas to come back, which he could this week. So that would be huge. And then obviously
it's a bit of a shaft, like getting your first round pick and like being injured for the
pretty much the entire season so far. Joe Mixon, obviously losing him was huge, and then he didn't get Giovanni. So
I don't think he has the worst team in the league.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think he has the worst team. I think by the end of the season he won't have the worst record.
Yeah.
But he plays Nav this week, so he could steal a win there against Mr. Barthelwatch. Okay.
Nav has some crucial buys though.
Yeah. True.
See if you could both upset.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to number 11. I gotta drink to this.
Oh man.
Oh.
Miss.
Some straight whiskey. Oof. Yeah, let's look at these fuckers real quick.
Yeah.
These pieces of shit. Fucking Zeke fumbling everywhere. Robert Woods fumble last week. That was just unnecessary. Robert Woods could have gotten me that clutch win if he'd just gotten some touchdowns. I literally could have won. Like fucking Dave Montgomery didn't have that great of a game, but they have now phased in Josh Reynolds as apparently that's the guy to have in fucking Los Angeles. So I'm benching Robert Woods this week. I'm starting my boy Jarvis, my stud from last year. Robbie Anderson against the Falcons. Good. Yeah, no brainer. It's looking like Miles Sanders is not going to play, so I got Boston Scott against the Cowboys on Sunday night. And then I got Mike Evans, and I'm fucking hoping this man's gonna show up. I mean, there's no Godwin. There's no AB this week, at least this week. So
it might be Scotty Miller.
Fucking, it's literally Mike Evans, Scotty Miller, and Gronk, and that's it. There ain't anybody else out there.
Fucking Mike. That like Evans without Godwin on the field performs much better than with Godwin on the field. At least.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. He gets like way more of the target share. He's had like, I'm pretty sure every game that Godwin hasn't played, he's had over 100 yards or like close to 100 yards and like a touchdown.
I mean, I would say that this is probably the worst team in the league. Only due to the fact that it lives and dies with Zeke, you know?
I don't agree with that. If you look at my points for, Zeke has not given me that much like week to week.
I mean, at the beginning of the season, he wasn't doing too poorly.
He was doing well. He was doing well.
And then now he's like a 4 to 5 point running back.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's going to improve. He's getting Danucci's getting a full week of practice, and they're not playing a great team this week. Not that they played a great team last week, but I think the offense will have a much better. I mean, they can only go up from here. Like they can't really get worse. I don't know. I'm expecting like 10 points from Zeke, like nothing crazy. But I think Boston Scott could pop off if Miles Sanders
Yeah.
doesn't play. So
That's true.
You're playing,
we'll see.
you're playing this week, right?
I'm playing Peyton this week. Yeah. So road does not
Me
get
too,
any
I think.
easier. But moving
I mean,
on.
if you pull it off. It's definitely you, Nige.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 10, Mr. Dick Wang, who is probably the only person unluckier than me in terms of just pure matchup numbers. He has a good team. I mean, flat out has a good team, and he just does not get the opponent that he needs to get every week. And
Yeah.
I mean, the running backs are solid. Gaskin, Gurley, Ronald Jones, Metcalf is good. Even though, I mean, Metcalf is usually good. Didn't have a great week last week, but he usually has Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's on the bye this week, and then Hollywood is pop off or zero. Kelsey's solid, and then Butker is pretty good. I think. Let's just check Butker real quick. Number 13 kicker. Okay, not great, but so Dick is starting the number 13 kicker, which means that I mean there has to be someone better that he could be starting, right? I don't know. Bench hella sketch. Sketch.
Bench sucks.
Bench is not great. Aguilar was a good pickup this week. Christian Kirk is maybe coming onto the scene. Yeah, if he gets that stat going, that could be pretty interesting. And then the Ravens D has actually been like, I think they're the number one, right? Yeah, they're the number one defense this year. So there's actually, I feel like the Ravens D has not won Dick a lot of games, but at least kept him in a lot of games. But
I mean, I think Aguilar might be a better start than Marquise Brown, honestly, this week.
Yeah. I could see him plugging in Aguilar this week. He plays Bolay this week, so it's definitely not going to be an easy win for him. But I think this week is probably his best matchup in a while. So
This definitely reminds me a lot of Neil's team from last year. Because last year Neil didn't have a bad team, but he just kept getting very unlucky in his matchups.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to number 9. Mr. Pranav Bardwaj, who got a key win last week to keep him in the playoff hunt. Because now we got this log jam of 4-3 teams here, and he's one of them.
You put him at 9.
Right there, yeah.
I put him at 9 because I don't see this roster is just without now no Odell. He's starting Kamara and Latavius. I don't know about that. And then Mike Williams last week in what was supposed to be like his breakout after he had 25 the week before, Mike Williams put up 0.9 against and the Chargers put up like almost 40 points or like more than 40.
That's what Mike Williams does. Like he'll put up like 40 like one game a season. And then like he'll just be a dud for the rest of the year.
Yeah, like that win that Nav got against you last week is fucking huge. Like it's gonna keep him.
Bullshit, dude.
It's gonna keep him in the race like for the rest of the season. But right now it is not looking great. It's not looking great. Mike Williams, Sammy Watkins is not what you want your starting. I mean, I guess Sammy Watkins like before he got hurt was like fringe wide receiver 2. I guess I don't know. This is definitely a team I would love to be playing like every week. Like
he beat me last week, so
he beat you with Hopkins though. He beat you with
Gonzalez.
Hopkins, yeah, Hopkins and Gonzalez. Like those are key cogs in this machine. I guess Mark Ingram could come back healthy soon, and then he picked up Gallman, who I think he'll be flexing this week. But top heavy team. This is a team I would want to be playing this week though, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to number 8, Mr. Jason Bick, who I don't have I don't have much to say. I saw at the time when I saw that trade, I knew it was favored for you, Mr. Wuhan.
Why so?
But I mean, it was like just like flat out like was like you didn't even give up like one of your top running backs. You gave up a player that you hadn't even been starting. Maybe you flexed McKinnon like a couple weeks. I don't know, but
he got like 3 carries last game.
He's on the field for like 2 snaps. Yeah, I obviously this man lost a lot with Devontae, and not to say that like Godwin and McKinnon were like it wasn't like that lopsided of a trade, but it's now with McKinnon like kind of hurt and not really on the field, and then Godwin breaking his finger and having surgery, like,
Yeah.
and then AB coming into the fold too, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just I don't know what Mr. Big was thinking with the trade, but I guess Devontae like just hadn't been performing like, or he hadn't even been on the field, like he hadn't been healthy, and Jason just wanted like some like depth to like fill
I
in
mean,
that void.
it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to hold on to a player throughout like his whole entire injury time and then just trade him at the end, you know?
Yeah, like wait for him to be healthy and then trade him. Yeah, it was questionable, but I actually now with Melvin Gordon back and Philip Lindsay going down, I think that's pretty big for Jason because Melvin Gordon was actually doing pretty well.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
as long as Allen Robinson is healthy, he's in the concussion protocol. I can see Jason being a tough out every week. I mean, Matt Ryan is not like the greatest quarterback, but he's definitely not. He's definitely like a top. Yeah, he's a top 10 fantasy
Top
quarterback,
10,
so it's like
yeah.
not bad. I mean,
You
yeah,
know, might be a hot take, but I think you should be starting Joe Burrow now instead of Matt Ryan.
Mm,
I agree. I mean, okay, so the Panthers, I read this week, the Panthers have allowed the fewest passing yards per attempt for all quarterbacks this year. So I don't think he should be starting Matt Ryan tomorrow. I think he should be definitely be starting Joe Burrow against the Tennessee defense that gives up the large percentage of third downs, like 60. They
yeah,
like opponents convert 60% of third downs or something like that.
true.
So, um, but yeah, I mean, this is a pretty solid roster. Like the wide receivers are very good. Um,
The bench isn't too bad.
yeah, bench isn't too bad. Like Malcolm Brown, kind of. I mean, I guess both Brown and Henderson had RB2 games last week, so Big's hanging around. He's 3-4. Like he's right there with the pack. Like he's not far off. He plays. Let's see who he plays this week.
Plays me this week.
Oh,
Nice.
ooh, it's could sting. It could be a if it's a lopsided loss, could hurt a lot.
Too much stock into those projections.
So especially Devontae against the Vikings defense. Vikings defense let the Falcons go off. So I don't know. It's not looking good for Mr. Big this week. Moving on to number 7. Got Mr. Hill Johnny. And number 7 at 4-3.
Yeah.
Was 4-1.
Yeah.
Now is 4-3 on a little bit of a losing spell.
I just need C-Mac. I need C-Mac back. Simple as that. You know? Like I'm starting Zach Moss this week.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not. I had Zach Moss at one point, and I think I dropped Singletary. Just fucking just fucking idiots. Honestly, just even when they both got the ball a lot, like no one is scoring touchdowns, so it doesn't even matter. Josh Allen is the running back in that offense.
Yeah.
But he's got Bridgewater against the worst defense against quarterbacks.
That should be a good matchup.
Yeah, and Bridgewater. I mean, Teddy's been pretty solid this year. I think he's been around like 18. Yeah, like 18-ish points a game on average, maybe a little less than that. Maybe
I think he's hitting his role right now. You know, like he's getting more comfortable with the offense. Like he's getting more yards. He's getting more fantasy points. So
yeah, once C-Mac comes back, I'm sure his stats will go up through the roof.
Yeah,
you can start the Bridgewater C-Mac stack. But yeah, I think the core of this team is Amari and Diggs, and I don't know what.
Tanya's been struggling.
He's been asleep for a couple of weeks, but I mean, Tanya can always break out. I like Greg Ward. I like Greg Ward a lot. I think he's number 2 right now to Fulgham. So I think, as long as Alshon doesn't play this week, I think Greg Ward is a good start. And then the Chiefs D has been lights out. Number 4 defense. So it's a good defense to have. Just waiting on Mr. McCaffrey. I don't know why you have 3 quarterbacks. I don't know why are you stashing Tua? It's not like you even have a Dolphins wide receiver. But J.K. Dobbins though, if Ingram is hurt, like progressively hurt through the rest of the season, like Dobbins could be important at the end of the season for you. So
yeah, that's true.
You got Drake on the bye and he's out for a couple weeks, but Dallas Goedert practicing again could matter. Might be your flex.
I think this week, I mean, there actually is possibility that C-Mac plays this week. which would be huge. But I'm looking forward to next week when I get Chase Edmonds in, because I think he's gonna pop off.
Oh, true. Yeah, that'll be if you next week when you get C-Mac and Chase Edmonds, you're definitely back.
Yeah.
Definitely back in the mix. So,
sure.
but yeah, right now I got you at 7, just because I don't know if you're gonna win this week. Who do you play?
I'm playing ADV, so.
Oh yeah. So, yikes.
But if C-Mac comes back, then Mike Davis he doesn't have anymore. So
It's true. It's true. And
So-
C-Mac against the Falcons always goes off. So much like everybody else. Number 6. Now we're in the top 6. The playoff contenders, the playoff teams. You got Mr. Derek Bole and number 6. And this man just finds ways to win. Like what he needed, I think he needed 18 or 9. No, he needed 21. He needed 21 from Tyler Lockett to beat Neil. And Tyler Lockett had, he had 46. 3 touchdowns, 180 yards or something like that. Just absolutely ridiculous numbers. This team is it's hanging around. It's kind of a scary team just because Julio and Lockett could go off any week, and then Jonathan Taylor is a very solid RB2. Le'Veon at the 2 spot is kind of sketch, but once Le'Veon gets acclimated into the Chiefs offense, I think he could play a Kareem type role. CEH CEH will be the Chubb, and Le'Veon will be the third down back.
Yeah.
He got Fant back, which is Fant was putting up some heavy numbers those first couple of weeks that he was healthy. So, this is a scary team.
I think Deontay Johnson too. He benefits a lot from having Juju and Claypool, getting so much attention from defenses.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson's low-key nice. He has a lot of moves. His route running and his stop and start is pretty good. So, this is a scary roster. And once he gets Eckler back, I think he's gonna get Eckler back right in time for the fantasy playoffs. So, I mean, this is a team that it's a dark horse, definitely a dark horse. Finds ways to win. I think he was 2-3, and he just popped off against Hill and then got Lockett to just clutch it. So,
I would argue that this team's better than 6. I would
Okay.
put this team in. I would put this team in top 4. I think.
Okay, that's fair.
So
Yeah, I was just the running back situation right now. That's the only thing. I mean, Taylor's good, but Le'Veon Bell got 3 points last week, so he needs something there. Running backs are very important. If he can get Eckler back,
Jets this week, which could be a huge revenge game.
he's playing what?
Le'Veon Bell's playing the Jets.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
yeah, you could put up happy numbers.
There's a lot of point action.
Yeah, I mean, if Le'Veon gets going, this team is scary as hell. So
Yeah.
and then he'll get Eckler back at some point too, and then it'll be I don't even know how good this team will be if he gets Eckler back. But yeah, moving on to number 5, Mr. Ragsman Parra, who's the best manager last week. He's at the best lineup figures against his opponent. But yeah, I mean, Rags lost his top 2 running backs. He lost Chubb and Sanders, and he's still been winning. So, I mean, I don't know when he picked up Jamal Williams, but that was fucked up. That literally got him the win. That was the biggest point difference was Jamal Williams versus Zeke. But this is a deep team. Like I said, I mean, even last week, Aaron Rodgers had 28 points, but no one on this team popped off. This team just kind of all around, just everyone puts in that 10 points, 12 points, and gets him to 100 at least. So it's a deep team, and that's without Chubb and Sanders. So he's gonna get Sanders back soon, probably week 10 after the bye, and then Chubb will come back probably shortly after that. And so, this is Wolf Fuller, even Crowder. Crowder's
Fuller
pretty
might
solid.
get traded actually.
Yeah, I did see that. You guys have anything else to say about Rags team?
I mean, I think I wouldn't be surprised if this team gets maybe the 5th seed in the playoffs or the 6th seed in the playoffs, but ends up making a solid run. Because if you have Nick Chubb and Miles Sanders at your RB1 and RB2, and Calvin Ridley, who's someone's been popping off, and Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't be surprised if they put in some major points in
Yeah,
playoff time.
yeah, I agree. I agree. This is a team that's going to be in the playoffs for sure. I think it's a lock to be in the playoffs. I'm
Thanks.
No, I'm not even trying to jinx him. Like, I think it's deep enough, and as long as he just like weathers the running back injury storm and still gets wins, like it's gonna be like right. He's gonna be getting those guys back at the exact right time. So,
Yeah, that's true.
all right, number 4, Mr. Peyton Smith. Mr. Peyton Smith, 0-3 to 4-3. Pretty
It's impressive.
scary. He has had I would say like the hottest players, or some of the hottest, like the most consistent hot players, like Derrick Henry, AJ Brown. AJ Brown comes back from injury 3 weeks ago. 18, 20, 24.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Monster. Josh Allen is the 4th best quarterback this year. Hasn't had the best couple games recently, but he's playing a Patriots defense this week that's actually been struggling. So I think he'll bounce back and have like 20 plus. But this week he's got Derrick Henry and he's got AJ Brown against the Bengals, which I'm pretty scared for. I mean, at least one of them has to go off. Like, everyone has been going off against the Bengals defense, so I foresee one of these guys, at least one of these guys, popping off, if not both, which is scary for me. But he does have some buys. He has David Johnson on the bye, Keelan Cole on the bye. But I mean, Carson, I just learned today is a game time decision. He's going to be a game time decision though, and I could see him playing because they like Hyde is injured too, and then Travis Homer has like a knee injury. So if Carson's injury like isn't that serious, like they might just play him hurt, which would be really bad for me.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, and then he's got Waller against the Cleveland D, and Waller's number 1 or Waller's number 7 or number 3 in PPR. Okay. Yeah, Waller just gets fed, man.
Yeah.
Like 8 targets, 16 targets, 4, 12, 7, 9. Like, this man just gets the ball in his hands. So, he's gonna. I'm assuming he's gonna plug Justin Jefferson in for Keelan Cole, and then he's gonna put Chris Carson in for David Johnson. Then he'll have someone else to flex. Maybe Ayuk. Yeah, I can see Ayuk. Maybe he'll pick someone up. But yeah, this team is hot. It's on a roll. And
Diva going down, Ayuk probably get bigger with that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Ayuk, I think
this team.
I think they're phasing
Not
Ayuk. that was when he was 1. I think I said that when he was 1-3, and now he's 4-3. So all I can do is hope to slow him down. But my team seems incapable of slowing anybody down. They just get in their own way. That's all they do. Okay, number 3.
Say that you're like the Falcons.
No, because it's not like I'm winning my matchups. Like they just underperform. Like I'm like the old Chargers with like Phillip Rivers and LT, who always like had a sick team but just never got to the big show. So it's fucking stupid. But anyway, on to number 3, Mr. Neil Potzel, who has had quite the bounce back season after last year. Only big question mark is QB, and he's finally not starting Gardner Minshew. He's finally got a legitimate QB in there, so that's good. Derek Carr's had some nice games recently. But I think the key for this team, it's actually a fucking sick team. With the key, obviously, the biggest key I think has been health. I don't think he's really had anyone injured. I mean, Dalvin was out for like 1 week, but it didn't affect, or I guess affected him a little bit. But now with this full lineup, he's got Dalvin's like the top what? Yeah, Dalvin's only the 7th running back because he didn't play last week. Like I think he was like 3rd or 2nd before that, and then Adam Thielen was number 1, and now he's number 6. So he's got two of the top 5 players in both running back and wide receiver. Tyler Boyd had 22 points last week, number 9 in PPR now.
Jeez.
And then he has Keenan Allen in the flex, who is basically a wide receiver 1. Yeah. So
That's crazy.
this team is
That's a
hella
good team.
scary. Yeah, this team is hella scary. It the only
I think
yeah,
it's kind of sus.
yeah, the only sketch parts of the team are like the non-core. Like the kicker, I mean Prater's okay this season. I don't know how well he's been doing. He is the number 15 kicker, so not great. And then the Lions D is like mediocre. So yeah, the bottom of the roster, like tight end, kicker, defense, and then quarterback for the longest time he was starting Minshew, were the only like question marks. But I mean, other than that, like this team is scary, for sure. I think it'll
Yeah.
be, I think it'll be a top seed. I don't know if it'll be a 1 or a 2 seed, but I think it will be like right there, like top 3 or 4, at the end of the season. It's got Lindsey on the bench.
Antonio Brown comes.
It's true. Antonio Brown could come back and
Yeah,
some
yeah.
crazy
But I think
things.
like in that offense though, like they just spread it around. Like I could see AB like popping off some weeks for sure, but I think like Brady just like picks whoever like he's feeling that day. Like last week it was Scotty Miller, and like the week after this is probably going to be some fucking rando. It won't be Mike Evans. It'll be the third string fucking wide receiver. But yeah, I mean AB could definitely go off.
It'll be tough to decide who to start between like AB, Keenan Allen, and Tyler Boyd. You know.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have though. I mean, like I feel like he's only gonna start AB like probably when these guys have buys, and then like if AB like for some reason just starts to pop off every week, he could plug him in for possibly like I don't know Boyd. But yeah, I mean Neil's got some good problems. He doesn't really have very many problems besides quarterback, defense, and kicker. But we'll see if Derek Carr is consistent. Like that's 20 points a week, so pretty good for this man.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, we got the leader. Number 2, Mr. Advaith at 5-2. This man is 5-2, and he's like what, like 4th least points scored, something like that.
Yeah.
No, maybe 5th or 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th least points scored, and he's number 1. And he has the least points against by far. No one else is even in the 600s. This man has only had 690 points scored against him through 7 weeks. That's less than 100 points a week. But he is 5-2, which I mean assures him a playoff spot. I wish there was a thing on Sleeper when it shows like when you actually clinch, because
Mm,
I could see him if he gets a 6-2, he's basically lock. So
yeah.
you know, I think I've said this almost every week. Like I think this is the deepest roster in the league besides like maybe Neil's,
Where'd Kang go?
which lost him.
Lost Kang.
We'll keep moving forward.
Yeah, I mean the thing about ADV's team is like he has a lot of like plug-in players, you know? Like he has
Mhm.
Mike Davis, he has Giovanni Bernard, you know? Like that's good for him right now, but I don't see that helping him like in the playoffs, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. This team it's definitely sketchy for the playoffs, but I think one of the things that it has going for it is that all of his players will be like they'll be fully utilized because the teams are bad, like the Redskins.
yeah.
Um, like Gibson and McLaurin are going to be, they're still going to be playing like weeks like 14 through 16, like they're going to be fully involved.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest hits
Sure.
for him was CD. I think CD obviously with not now doesn't even have Dalton is not as valuable anymore. Giovanni's just a temporary plug. I mean, he's good, but he's not going to be there for long. And then yeah, once C-Mac comes back, like Mike Davis could be like in a Latavius type role where he gets like 6 to 8 points a game and not that much else. But I can see them. Oh, this man's in the lobby. You back?
Sorry about that.
All
Little
right.
technical difficulty.
Yeah, I mean, I think ADV. I don't know if he's going to win the championship with this team. I think he's definitely a playoff lock, but I think he needs to make like maybe like one more move to acquire like a star, because like
Mhm.
Aaron Jones is definitely a star.
Mhm.
But then like other than that, like some of these players are not going to be relevant. I mean, he's got AJ Green in this week because he's got Gibson and McLaurin on the bye. But last week, did he play Claypool? I think he benched him last week, right? Let's see.
Did he?
I don't think he played Claypool last week, which is pretty smart on his part because Claypool got 0.9 last week. That's pretty concerning. Yeah, I don't think he played Claypool last week. Let's look. Yep, no Claypool. He started Gibson at the flex, and then he started DJ Moore and Terry. So that was pretty smart on his part. I don't really know why he didn't start Claypool, but yeah, beats me.
I think Aaron Jones might actually be out this week. Possibly.
Yeah, he could still possibly not play. I think Matt LaFleur said like if he practices tomorrow, then it's like a good sign. But if he doesn't, then he's probably gonna be out. But yeah, if Aaron Jones doesn't play this week, like, I mean, Cam Akers is kind of irrelevant, and so you just have to pray for Joe Mixon to be out again, so we could plug Giovanni in again. But it's a playoff lock, but I'm not gonna tab it as, even if he gets like the 1 or 2 seed, I'm not gonna tab him as like the winner. Like I don't think this team is gonna win it, at least how it's constructed right now. I think he needs some more star power.
We already have a winner.
He has something I just noticed today is he has George Kittle, who's the number 2 tight end, and then he has TJ Hawkinson, who's the number 5 tight end, 5 tight end in PPR. So that's just a curious factoid.
Hawkinson's been popping off.
Yeah, Hawkinson's been popping off, and then Younghoe Koo is the number 5 kicker this year. Had 20 points against me, of course. Younghoe Koo is very good this year though. So I mean, it's a solid.
I think his biggest question mark is probably at quarterback.
Yeah,
quarterback is probably his biggest need right now.
Yeah, I agree. Probably his biggest need, but I think he needs another running back. I think like, we don't know what Mike Davis is going to be like in a couple weeks, and then like Cam Akers hasn't been relevant, and then Giovanni's going to fade once Mason gets healthy. So I think he really needs another running back.
Gibson's pretty good though.
Yeah, Gibson is good.
Gibson's very good.
I don't know about very good, but yeah, he's an RB2. He has like Jonathan Taylor type numbers. But yeah, I think running back right now is his running back and quarterback, I guess, are his biggest needs. But that Washington offense though, turning up with Kyle Allen.
Dude, they're not turning up. They just play the Cowboys. All right. Everyone turns up against Cowboys.
Yeah. All right. And finally, the man, the myth, the legend. Mr. Daniel Kang with the trade of the year. What are these fucking names? Dr. Unlucky, the hardest road. You need to change that shit. That's gonna reverse jinx you into fucking hell, dude. Holy fuck. This shit is not even I was looking at this roster today. I was like, this is not even fucking real. Like Russell Wilson, CEH, Kareem at RB2, Tyreek and Devontae, Mark Andrews, T. Higgins, Carlson, the Cold Stee. Then he's got fucking Justin Herbert on his bench for absolutely no reason other than to just have him. James Robinson, and then Debo, who's injured, but Debo last week, what did he have? I don't know. I was watching Debo's plays last week, and he was looking strong. He was running over everybody.
Yeah, he's good, man.
He's a good player. So like once Debo gets healthy, John Brown gets healthy too. Like this bench is solid. James Robinson, obviously, like he had like 30 points last week or something. Yeah. So this is with Devontae now. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna beat this team. I really don't.
This is really just like a championship or bust type of team,
Yeah, this is like
if you have this team and you don't win the ship, then like
oh here we go.
I'm just saying, dude.
Here we go.
This team's incredible.
I think it might be
not a single hole.
It might be better than your team from last year, Hill. Like at the end of the season when your team was just popping off. Like I think this team is better than that team, which is scary because your team was really fucking good, and so this team is somehow better than that team.
Yeah.
So, Nick Chubb can come back, reducing Kareem, but then he's got James Robinson to plug in there. Like once if Kareem for some reason loses some value, and then he could always flex Kareem. And he's got T Higgins just chilling here. Like I don't know. When did you pick up T Higgins?
I picked him up after like his first or second week
Okay.
of like actually getting points.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you're gonna lose. Like I guess the one team that
Oh my god.
the one team that could beat you like in a regular season matchup right now is probably Niels. Like that's probably the only team I could see beating you.
I can see Bolay beating him.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
Bolay,
know. I'm
possibly.
4-3, man. I'm 4-3.
Yeah, but
I'm not,
you
like,
have
undefeated or anything.
yeah, but you have the most points for by what? 60 points? No.
By
Oh
10,
no,
yeah.
by 15
Big.
points. 15 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, but you've also had the most points against. Or no, you haven't. No, dickheads.
Second most.
Most points against and most points for, and you're 4-3. Like, I feel like you've gone through like some of the gauntlet teams, and now your schedule's thinning out a bit. And you play. Who do you play this week? You play Pick.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know, because I lost to Wes, which, no disrespect to Wes, but I thought I was going to beat Wes. But
were you projected to beat him before the week started by like a lot?
I think I was.
Because I remember
Yeah.
looking at that, and I think like Wes was projected to get like around 100, and then you were just like a little bit over 100. So
But that was also pre-Devontae.
yeah, that was
So-
pre-Devontae, and Wes had just made that huge trade, and he had all of those players that week. So that was an
I
understandable
mean,
loss.
that's fantasy for you,
This week you get Bick
A
though.
lot
And
of luck.
this week you get Bick though, and the next week you get me. So the schedule is definitely you're playing the under 500 teams now, so it's evening out.
I mean, we'll see.
And then after he plays Neymar, he plays me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's just a guaranteed L for me then.
Oh
dude.
man. But yeah, I sent out some huge. I tried to make some blockbusters this week. No one bit on any of my. I thought some of my trades were pretty fair. I thought some of them were pretty fair. I was offering. No, it was pretty reasonable. I was offering Mike Evans, Mahomes, and Zeke just for Kamara, and Pranav said no.
Just for tomorrow.
Just for Kamara. I offered those three. I offered my first 3 picks, and he said no. His quote was like,
Oh man.
like watching Kamara on another team would be like watching like the love of your life, like make love to someone else like every week.
Yeah.
So
Pranav's very loyal.
yeah, I also tried to make a play for Dalvin. I tried to trade the same 3 guys for Dalvin, and I think I was like just throw in Derek Carr, and I'll throw in Singletary, but Neil was not biting on that. So
Yeah. Hey, I'm open for trades, man. So,
I don't want
That's me,
anyone
bro.
on your. I don't need wide receivers.
you don't want CMC?
I mean, he's not even. I need immediate help. I need immediate wins. I don't have the luxury to wait on anything. My season is 1 game away from basically being over. So 1 loss away.
Now people make the playoffs at 7-6. So
Who says I'm gonna be? Who says I'm gonna be 7-6? I was projected to beat both Rags and ADV, and my team literally just underperforms week after week. Like I don't like. There's nothing else to say. Like Woods and Evans and Zeke have just been shitting the bed at the worst time. Like it's not even like I'm starting the wrong people. Like I'm starting all the right. Like no one on my bench is like popping off, and like if I played them, I would have won. Like nothing like that is happening. Like it's straight up just people are just not scoring points.
yeah,
But
I think Zeke's a bust for the rest of the year, low-key.
I don't know about that. I think they'll figure. I don't know about Bus. Bus is strong.
Unless you really believe in Danucci.
It's not like they're playing like the division aren't the greatest teams. So like I
Yeah,
think
they're scoring like 3. They scored 3 against the against the Skins. They scored 7 against the Cardinals. They're
Yo.
probably gonna score 3 against.
don't hate on the Nucci main. The Nucci main about to turn the season around.
I hope so. I do hope so.
Got full week of practicing. And I think Kellen Moore is gonna figure it out. He's a good offense coordinator. I think he should suit up honestly and just go run
Yeah,
his own.
honestly, yeah.
Just go run his own offense. But
That'd be incredible.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're past the halfway mark now. Playoff picture's shaping up, and I think next week we'll know, well, at least have a pretty good idea of. Actually, no, maybe not next week, but like in 2 weeks, we'll probably have a pretty good idea of who the top 4 seeds will be. So, thanks for being on.
I mean, Nihar, just hit me up for any trades. I'm always available.
Okay.
Don't trade
Okay.
with this man.
Okay, Mr. Fleecer.